Well, welcome back to Shropshire Business Live TV. We have come out on location to Oswestry. Now, anyone who's driven past the Mile End roundabout any time recently over the last few weeks will have noticed that there's been lots of things going on. So we've come over here to find out a bit more about it. And my first guest here is Hayley Owen from Shropshire Council. Hayley, we met at the Christmas show, didn't we?
We did, yes.
So this is a little bit more blustery perhaps, but set the scene for us. Tell us what's going on here and what the council's involvement is.
Thanks, Carl. No, it's great to be out actually. It's lovely to get out and stood here in Oswestry, which is our second largest market town in Shropshire, and we're really excited that we're bringing forward this development and opportunity to the town. So this is all about unlocking the housing growth in Oswestry through this Mile End Junction improvement works. So this is a scheme that we've been working on for quite some time now, and it's brilliant to see it kind of starting to come out the ground and develop now.
And we say Mile End Junction, but actually, I mean, it spreads. It's a big site,
it's a huge site, and I think when you stood here actually you see the vastness of it, and it's all about unlocking the housing sites around Oswestry, which really needed that boost at the moment in terms of bringing forward the development and the opportunities. This is Homes England funding that we've secured £9.3 million to draw into Oswestry, which is fantastic, alongside some let money of £5 million as well to really support the infrastructure to bring forward the opportunity with the junction improvements, but also the opportunity then to look at the employment land that supports that as well. So
it's housing first. Is that
housing
the way it'll work,
first,
and then business after
yeah.
that,
So this is the initial thing is all about bringing forward the housing that's needed and really accelerating that in terms of the growth and opportunity, because within the hinterlands of Oswestry as well. So there's been a sort of perhaps that hasn't come forward as quickly as it could have done, and this is the way of making sure that we're incentivising that and bringing that forward as quickly as we can. And then the employment land, there's always been an aspiration here, stood in the Innovation Park today, to bring this forward for employment, to really support our local businesses that are looking to grow and develop and having those sites ready for them. So that's the next phase of the work that the council's really looking at now to unlock that employment growth and opportunity.
So how will it be marketed, specifically the business side of it? Is it going to be like, sometimes you have like a tech park or are there particular businesses that you're looking to try and attract here?
Yeah, that's a good point, Carl. I think, this is about, we want those quality businesses. You look at ACO down the road, if you've been to that, fantastic site. That's the quality we want on this development now. This is about really changing those opportunities. Oswestry has been probably not had as much growth with it as it probably should have, and it's seen some of its growth go into its surrounding areas and people commuting out to those job opportunities, and we really want to harness that in the town. We've got fantastic businesses locally that are looking to grow, so the demand is there, we know it's there, and it's about us bringing that employment land forward for them to be able to take that opportunity. So we've put in planning really recently in terms of that first phase here, so that's gone in to sort of bring in the spine road off the Mile End Junction, and then looking at those first plots and phases. So we're in an exciting point where we've got people who are interested and we're keen to hear from them.
There's been I've driven around the Mile End roundabout many times.
Yes.
During my time in Shropshire, and there's always been this little sort of siding on the end of it, hasn't there? Which is where we've turned up today.
It has.
So this must have been on the drawing board for years?
Yeah. It's a fair point. It's been a site that has been looked at as an employment site for some time. It's probably not been able to come forward for the very reasons we're talking about now in terms of the infrastructure being there. So we're seeing this as a really big step forward. I've seen that sign too, pointing to a business park, and it's something that we've been desperate to bring forward, and it's really exciting that we're now at that point. I think the next phase for the council is looking at how we do that and the further investment needed. So we've still got more work to do on that, but actually all of this infrastructure we're putting in today through these two great sort of funding opportunities is really about enabling and getting us ready for that. So
tell me a bit about some of the partners and the other organisations that you're working with to make this all happen then.
Yeah, so we're working really closely with our partners through Homes England, through the Housing Infrastructure Fund. So that's really fantastic for Shropshire to have attracted that sort of money and levered that in. And then really closely with our partnership with the Marches LEP as well. So and that's all about helping to sort of bring forward the infrastructure, but also those sustainability. So bringing that pedestrian cycle overbridge between the sustainable urban extension on the other corner of the roundabout and the employment land here. So that's exciting, and I think it's all about the partnership to unlock this opportunity, because these schemes, they're expensive. Road infrastructure is a big kind of cost, and I think the fact that the opportunity's been seen, and people can see that the value and what we're bringing together, and it's all part of the wider plan to bring Oswestry, connecting it into the town centre, bringing those opportunities for the people and communities as well to access jobs in their local town, and sort of drive that growth in the economy. So it's all kind of part of the wider picture of how we bring together opportunities in the town, in the hinterlands, but also along this sort of key corridor for growth in Oswestry.
Brilliant. Hayley, thank you very much. I'm going to go and speak to a few more of the people involved in the project now.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm joined now by Emma Wilde of WSP, another of the organisations involved in this project. Emma, for anyone who doesn't know, just tell us a bit about WSP.
Okay, so WSP are one of the world's largest professional services firms, and probably most well known within Shropshire for the support that we offer to Shropshire Council in maintaining the network. So that's from the roads to the bridges, right through to kind of street lighting and traffic signs.
So road infrastructure, building roads and that kind of stuff is exactly what you do.
Exactly.
And so it's a big site, isn't it? This? So
it is.
How long have you been involved in this for then? Quite some time, I imagine.
Yeah, back in 2018 I came onto the project for the design phase, so I'm the project manager for the design. And that's when the funding was initially won from Homes England, so I've been involved since then.
So you'd have been working on the actual project that helped to secure the funding as well as the...
Yeah, the team were. We were involved in the initial funding application to Homes England and helping Shropshire to put that bid together.
So I imagine your job doesn't usually involve standing out here in front of a TV camera on the site talking about this kind of thing.
Definitely not.
What your role then actually involve? What is a typical week in your life? Is there such a thing?
Yeah, a lot of meetings with the team. We're a very large team working on this project. We've got 50 plus designers have been involved in this from WSP, so that's our core local team based in Shrewsbury, but also we have a lot of expertise across the wider WSP that have been brought in for this scheme as well. So for example, we've had teams from various offices, including our Manchester office for the structures side of it, for the bridge, for example, as well as many others. So we're very lucky in WSP to have such a large team to be able to pull upon, as well as the local team.
Can you run me through a few of the highlights of things that are actually planned as part of the design on here?
Yeah, so where we're stood at the moment is going to be the Innovation Park. So this is the Business Innovation Park, but the kind of core initial scheme was the Junction Improvement Scheme. So that's to enable the housing to be unlocked in the Oswestry area, as well as the pedestrian bridge, which Shropshire were also successful in gaining additional funding for. So that's the three kind of core elements of the project.
And what's the sort of time scale for it all? I mean, this is obviously going to be quite a long-term project. People are going to be driving down the A5 just across there, being able to see what sort of things will they see sprouting up over the next few months?
Well, we really are kind of getting into the main works now. It's due to be completed early in 2022. So the main thing, the start will be the road, followed by the bridge in early 2022, and beyond that will be the business part will be brought forward.
How does it feel for you to be able to actually see a project that you've been working on from the design phase actually physically appearing before your eyes?
Yeah, really great. And I am from the local area, so it is, again, it's a road that I've driven past many times. So coming and actually seeing it here and the work starting, it's really exciting.
Now I know that WSP and a project like this is giving an opportunity, employment opportunity, to a lot of people, and particularly younger people in the area, isn't it? You're quite big on that, aren't you?
Yeah, I think WSP is probably more known in Shropshire, like I say, for the maintenance work, but that's kind of it tends to go unnoticed. That support's always there, but it's not that well seen, I guess, and people don't have that awareness. Whereas with these major schemes, we get a bit more, they're more high profile, so people are more aware of them, which then draws in kind of talent, and it hopefully opens up opportunities to get young professionals interested in engineering and coming to work for WSP on some of the Shropshire schemes.
Because there's lots of, I imagine with a company like yours, lots of different kind of job opportunities available at the moment, and given what we've all gone through in the last 12 months,
exactly,
this is a perfect time to be offering all sorts of employment.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's like I say, we're a large company, so we have got various opportunities. And
you work quite closely with Shropshire Council, I guess, for a long time on lots of different kinds of projects, so you all know your different roles, do you, and how that all...
Yeah, no, definitely. So I work very closely with key clients, but also we're collaborating with Highways England and obviously the funders, so Homes England and others, so it's a lot of kind of feeding information through to the client to be able to update the various stakeholders and keep everybody up to date on progress with the project.
Okay, well I think, Emma, it's getting a bit chilly and
It
blustery
is.
in here, so should we go indoors and have a chat?
That'd be lovely. Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot. Well, hopefully some of the aerial footage that we captured there gives you an idea of the scale, the size of this site, housing over that side, business over this side, and we'll be keeping a close eye on how the Oswestry Innovation Park and the Mile End development goes over the next few months. For now though, from a blustery Oswestry, back to Chris in the studio.